So perspective and time can really do wonders to change one's outlook and mindset, especially when reviewing cars. Now, 3 years ago, I said that the Geely Okavango might not be for everyone, and I personally had some misgivings with this one right here. But for 2025, the Geely Okavango's biggest change, though, is its price. And I've got to say, I've got some notes. What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and today we'll be reviewing this, the 2025 Geely Okavango Elite. So believe it or not, the Geely Okavango actually goes hand in hand with the Geely Coolray when it comes to sales figures. And why not? It's a huge, hulking MPV, seats 7 people, it's got plush amenities and great power. Now for this year though, the biggest change is this grille right here. No longer will you have that those circular patterns right here on the grille, but now you've got this waterfall like tooth grille, which I don't really like when it comes to other cars, but with the overall design of the Okavango right here, it certainly fits it quite to a T. You got full LED headlamps right here, as well as LED fog lamps, and you have a DRL here as well that kind of fits well, especially when you're driving. You got Geely full LED written proudly right here on the headlamp assembly. You got this kind of looking brushed aluminum look diffuser here, but don't get it wrong, that's plastic, just as there for the look. You don't want to use your Geely Okavango going off-road. You want to take this out of town with your family and friends, but more of that later. You got the camera right here in front. It works with the 360-degree camera system and not much else. Then right here on the side, it kind of looks more American, if you ask me. Kind of looks like an American minivan to me, especially with its dimensions. You got 18-inch alloy wheels with 225/55 R18 tires, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but 18-inch tires actually look, 18-inch wheels actually look really small, especially with the overall dimensions of the car. But again, it totally fits the bill. If you want to have a car that can carry your friends and your family out of town with you, you can't be more inviting than this one. It certainly won't set the world on fire when it comes to design, but it can definitely hold its own. You got a couple of patterns right here, design character lines here on the front fender and on the back, kind of giving you an idea that it's muscular on the inside and it can take you wherever you want to go. You got a badge right here that says 48-volt EMS. Again, that is indicating that it's got a 48-volt battery and an electric motor on it. It's fairly small, but it's enough to make it a mild hybrid engine. You got repeater signals right here on the side mirror that works with the 360-degree camera system, and a really interesting looking roof rail right here on top. You got black plastic cladding all around and a chrome strip as well. Overall, you got 193 millimeters of ground clearance, which should be enough to traverse any pockmarked roads in the Philippines. You got what I really think are the thinnest looking tail lamps right here in the back, but it's got full LEDs, so it looks pretty much like a car in the 21st century. However, it does have some sequential turn signals, but only on the front, but not here in the back. You only got these bulbs right here that act as turn signals, which is kind of a miss in my point, because you only want to show the people in the front that you've got sequential turn signals, but not in the back. What's that all about? But hey, at least it works. You got this brushed aluminum look here with the Geely logo as well. You got more Geely right there, and says right here Okavango. And I like how you got a power tailgate that opens up this huge tailgate right here, giving you access to all this space on the inside. And as you can see, the third row seats are up, but I still have a lot of space to put all my stuff in it. Now, if you need even more space, you don't usually use the 7 seats in a 7-seater anyway. So what I do is that I just fold these rear seats down, fold fairly flat, actually absolutely flat right here. When they first introduced the Geely Okavango, it was funny that they actually included an airbed on the inside. And yes, you can actually fit an entire airbed right there on the inside, so you can live out your glamping dreams. All right, so we're inside the Geely Okavango for 2025, and right away, what surprised me the most is probably how tight and finely made the interior is. I mean, the fit and finish of the interior is definitely on par with a lot of more established brands. And if you compare this to other new car brands, Chinese car brands, even the center console doesn't have any creaks to it. The door cards, although they're made of hard touch plastic, as well as the top of the dashboard, doesn't have the same soft touch material as found in the Geely Coolray. It's well made, it's well fit together, and I kind of appreciate that. You got this huge touchscreen infotainment system right there in the middle, although the touchscreen infotainment system is very, in my opinion, rudimentary when it comes to its features. That you can access all of the settings right here in the screen, but unfortunately there's no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, whether wired or wireless. You also have this huge digital gauge cluster right there in the middle. Again, I would have wished that they added a couple of themes to it, like a couple of options to change how it looks, but with how it looks, it kind of mimics a lot of analog gauges, so I'm absolutely fine with that. Now, the inboard and outboard armrests are parallel to each other, and they have soft touch materials. So you got soft touch materials on where you usually touch or make contact with the car, but on the center console, you got hard plastic. So if you are driving and you rest your knees right here in the middle of the center console, it may get a little sore as time goes by. You even have a cubby hole right there underneath with a 12-volt socket for your power or your fast chargers, and two USB ports right here. And what looks like a wireless charging pad is actually not. It's just a place to put more of your stuff there so it doesn't jostle around as you drive. I like the look of the steering wheel here. The steering wheel is adjustable for both reach and rake, but not by much, but that's okay because you do have some adjustable seats right here. So with the driver, you get a 6-way power adjustable seat, and for the passenger, a 4-way system, which is definitely a premium feature that I do appreciate. The steering wheel is a 3-spoke steering wheel. It's complete with all the buttons that you need. Right here on the left side, you got your cruise control buttons and your call buttons, and you've got your menu and volume buttons right here on the right side. I like the soft touch leather here. It's definitely good to hold, and you got your switches on the back, easy to find, and you got some switches here as well for your headlamp leveler, though you can check the brightness of the screen as well, and a button to lift or open up the power tailgate in the back. All the switches are nice. I mean, you do have this chunky looking grab handle right at the door so that you can go ahead and shut it down. And as I mentioned, the visibility on the inside is fairly good. I mean, you do have those huge D pillars to contend with, but thanks to this huge rear view mirror and the huge side mirrors, that should not be a cause or concern. Now, you also have manual switches. That's right, you still have manual switches right here for your AC controls. Unfortunately, for the volume, you will have to dig through the menu system right here to change the volume. I wish they did add a little bit of volume knobs here for the passenger to help them out. But you do have some nice buttons here as well. Below the shifter, you do have your drive mode selector. You got your downhill assist system, your 360-degree camera system. I'm glad they put the 360 button right here instead of having to dig through the menu system again. You can turn off traction control. You got your electronic parking brake and your automatic brake hold. A nice cubby hole here and a cover for your cup holders. You got bottle holders on each side and a huge cubby underneath the center armrest. And everything is easy to reach. You can get a lot of light in because of this huge panoramic sunroof on top. And finally, they only offer it in a single variant instead of 3, which makes it more focused, which makes it a lot more in line with a lot of people are looking for, especially in a car like this. The biggest change on the inside, though, as compared to the previous model, these leather seats. The leather seats are now quilted, as you can see. They have this quilted material to it, adding a little bit more premium feel to the overall look. And I think you're going to love it, especially with longer drives. They're well bolstered, and you can find that comfort that you're looking for, especially during longer drives. Let's take a look at the second row seats and the third row seats before we head out to drive. All right, so this is basically the business end of any MPV, in my opinion. This is where your family and friends would enjoy most of their time sitting in the MPV. And right here in the back, you got a lot of map pockets. You got pockets for your phone right here, and most importantly, space. Now you got this huge window right here on the side that closes all the way down, so that allows a little bit of, lesser claustrophobia on the inside. And you've got a fairly, well, absolutely actually, an absolutely flat floor right here. Thanks to this monocoque design, this unibody design, it allows having a really flat floor. Now here's another feature. Right here at the bottom, you have some buttons to control your temperature and your air conditioning. That's right, so you don't just get aircon vents right here in the back, you actually get a complete set of systems. So you do have triple zone automatic climate control. You got 1, 2, and 3. So that's right, you get triple zone automatic climate control, which is a rarity, especially for cars at this price point, and you have it in the Geely Okavango Elite. Now these seats are adjustable, so if you need even more space, or if you want to piss off the guy right there in the back, you can just remove all the space available, and you got all this place to just splay your legs right around. So in order to get to the third row seats, pull this lever right here, and the second row seats slides forward, giving you access to the inside. This is pretty awkward, but someone's got to do it, right? And then fold this rear back. There you go. Now, if you need to adjust the third row, or should I say the back row right here, you'll have to slide this forward. And this is the amount of space. Ooh, this is the amount of space that you get with a Geely Okavango. Wow. Hey, I can actually imagine fitting 2 of myself right here in the back. You got 2 headrests, I mean you can fit 2 people. You got cup holders, albeit a bit shallow, and most importantly, aircon vents. Let's go ahead and take this out for a spin and experience the performance of this Geely Okavango. Although I've already driven this before, I haven't driven this brand new at this lower price point. So let's head on out with a different perspective in mind. All right, so we're now behind the wheel of the 2025 Geely Okavango. This is the Elite variant. Elite meaning one and only. So this is the one and only variant in the model lineup. Under the hood, you got a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged gasoline engine mated to a small electric motor. Then overall, it makes 190 horses and 300 Newton meters of torque, which is definitely necessary because you need to pull this much weight on the car. I mean, you've got a full 7-seater, 7 seats, individual seats right there on the inside. And of course, a lot of the body, this huge body right here, you need a lot of power to pull it. So, all right, so powering the front wheels, putting the power down to the front wheels is a 7-speed wet type dual clutch transmission. Now, before you exit this video and say, oh, it's going to be another jerky situation, hear me out. The transmission right here in the Geely Okavango, I really didn't believe it was a dual clutch transmission because the ride, the acceleration is so smooth. I don't understand how Geely was able to do this and even call it a dual clutch transmission, because it exhibits none of the typical jerkiness that you'd find in dual clutch transmissions. It's really smooth. And you got 3 drive modes too. You got Comfort, Eco, and Sport. Now, whatever drive mode you choose right here, the power delivery is certainly more linear. Actually feels like a naturally aspirated car. And the turning radius on this thing is insane. I mean, you got a longer wheelbase, it's wider, it's an MPV for crying out loud, but it feels more nimble than it actually is. I'm quite surprised with the drive of this thing. I mean, you got independent, you got suspension, the McPherson struts up front, a torsion bar right there in the back, and even though you got a 3-cylinder engine right there in front, it doesn't exhibit the same, you know, the same harsh noise vibration and harshness anyway from that engine. I don't know what the engineers did to this car, and I can't believe that I dismissed all that during my first review of this. I mean, it's surprising. Maybe I'm going to chalk this down to age, but this is a very, very comfortable drive indeed. And the brakes, they're very good as well. They're not spongy at all. And maybe it's just because it's a new car, but it feels great. It feels great to drive. So let's go ahead and talk about fuel economy. While the Geely Okavango is a mild hybrid, it is actually part of the exempted cars for coding and for a cheaper registration. It's just a mild hybrid. You don't need to compare it to those full hybrid or full EVs, but it's fairly fuel efficient. On the highway, I get around 16 kilometers per liter, which is not bad, especially for a car with this size and with this weight. But most importantly, city driving. I get around 8 to 9 kilometers per liter. While that does not sound like much, again, you have to take into account the other cars in this price point. I mean, especially with this size of a car. Now, it achieves that particular fuel economy because of this feature that mild hybrids have. It's called, it basically just coasts while you're moving. So you do have your automatic start-stop button, right? This is probably one of the least intrusive automatic engine start-stops I've ever experienced. I mean, I just stop I just stop during a stoplight, and then I'd feel that the engine turned off. But the air conditioning will still remain cold. Nothing to sneeze at. And I think it definitely earns that hybrid badge and that exemption, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to safety features, you definitely need that, especially with a car like this. The people who buy MPVs are, of course, those who are looking for more upscale ride for their family. So that's why I'm glad to say that it does have a few advanced driver assist systems, like proximity sensors right there in the back, a full 360-degree camera system, which works great, by the way. It doesn't give you that lag. It doesn't look so jerky and jittery at all. You even have cruise control right here. Now, it doesn't have lane keep assist. It doesn't have forward collision mitigation system. It doesn't have adaptive cruise control. But again, I believe that a lot of those features just add up to the price of the car, because you probably won't be using these features all the time. You would probably be needing advanced driver assist, or I should say adaptive cruise control on the highway, probably using it like 5% of the time during the ownership of the car, and it just adds up to the price. And I'm glad that you, like I said earlier, I'm glad that you only have the advanced driver assist systems you need and nothing that you don't. And that's exactly what this has. I mean, it still has multiple airbags, you got traction control, you've got ABS with the electronic brake force distribution. This is the standard features that you definitely find typical in these types of cars and should come as standard and are standard. All right, now let's talk about pricing. Now, a couple of years ago when we first reviewed this, I kind of balked at the fact that this exact model with these specs is worth around more than 1.7 million pesos, which is instantly I dismissed it right away, I have got to say. But right now, at a starting price of 1,360,000 pesos, suddenly you got a lot to think about. I mean, for that price, you got this huge 7-seater MPV with not bad specs at all, and a good performance, good fuel economy, and a smooth drive. I mean, what more could you ask for? Plus, a lot of the competition at that price point are smaller MPVs, even though it really doesn't compare to full hybrids or even EVs, certainly not EVs. Looking at it as a car at that particular price point, it's just everything that you're looking for. It's something that you might want to consider as a family car. Now, as a daily, that might be a different concern. If you're going to drive this around by yourself, I mean, most of the time, you might want to consider something smaller or something more fuel efficient in that regard. But as a family car, and as something that you might want to take your family out during weekends for, thanks to this the second and third row seats folding flat, and you can just enjoy. You could just go out glamping. You can go and enjoy everything that you need with your family. So yes, is the Geely Okavango an easy recommend for me? 2 years ago, no. But right now, it most certainly is. So that's my full review of the Geely Okavango for 2025. Previously, it had 3 variants and can be had for up to 1.7 million pesos. But at 1,368,000 pesos for this top-of-the-line single variant, I think it's more focused. I think it's more in line with what people want. And yes, it definitely changes my perspective about the car. But what do you think? Drop me a comment in the comment section down below. What do you think are the other competitors that you can compare the Okavango to? But while you're at it, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so you won't miss any of our videos. This has been Roy Roberts from Zigwheels.Ph. I'll see you guys next time.